Hi, I'm Lucas and I'm the Thursday guy. Today's topic is relationships, platonic and romantic. I'm gonna start with before I came out, when I started dating until now. I started dating when I was about 13. I went to bank back then, it's basically Central Bank in Dublin. It's a bank where emo kids have hung out and hippies and all that for the past. I started dating girls, and the first girl was a straight girl and she was 17, so it was really bad. But she was really nice, and like we only pecked, I was 13. I dated a few people here and there, but you see the problem with me back then is that I used to date a lot of people. I would not kiss them unless I was with them. So first proper relationship I had, it lasted only like 3-4 months, but it's like over the course of 2 years I was on and off with her. She was really cool. We were both young, we were both around the same age, so it was alright. Like we generally just like watched things and like kissed a lot, and like it was a really cool experience. She was like my first proper girl like kiss, and I was really nervous when like I was with her, because I always thought, this girl is really cool and really pretty, and I was terrified, I went on to date this horrible person. He used me and tortured me in some ways, and I was 15 and gullible. I had mental health problems, but I could have had the chance to get better. He manipulated me and then used my body, and it was horrible. And she was 17, she should have known better. I'm 17 now, and if I was in her position right now, even if I was okay with those sort of things, I would never, like, that's horrible. So that's when I started questioning my gender identity. I felt like I wanted to be called Lucas, a name I'm pretty sure I was calling myself as a child, because I never thought, what name suits me? I always knew it was just Lucas. So at that point I went to mental hospital, like inpatient mental health, where you can't leave basically, and it was horrible in some ways, but in other ways it was good. I had these close friends and I thought I could trust them, like I'd do anything for them, but they wouldn't do the same, because every time I invited them, whether they live an hour away or 2 or 3, they would never come when I've said, even a few of them even said they would show up, and they didn't. At that point, I stopped. I stopped being friends, I stopped talking to people, and to this day, it has affected me so much that they never showed up, to the point that I can't still make friends. I struggle with friendships, I can't. Like, even after coming out, and a lot of people have been messaging me, it's still, since that day, I feel like I can't trust people because they won't show up when you need them. And that was a big reality shock to me, to the point that I had to send my mum home. When the last time I invited someone, I had to send her home, and I just stayed in my room and cried. And you're in a mental hospital, you're at your last wits, they've taken you in so you don't hurt yourself. And like, it's generally like suicide watches a weekend. They believed I needed that half year in there to get better, because at that point I was screaming down the building. I was gone. I was gone. So I decided I'm gonna stick up for myself, and I'm just not gonna make friends anymore. I'm not gonna have all those long conversations and helping them when they won't help you back. So before I came out, which was a few months ago, after getting out of a long relationship, she was awesome. Like, she didn't do anything bad. I was really, like, gender issues were really bad, but I never said anything. And I had some of the great memories with her, and she was amazing, but things happen, and and like other things were happening, so I was like, you know what, I'm fine. And then I wasn't. I had a drinking problem. A while later I started drinking, and then I started drinking a lot, and then I just had a problem, and like to this day, like, you never get rid of that problem. Some people have, like, a lot of people have it worse than me. During that time, about 2 months later, I met this girl called Kira, and she's really beautiful, and she's my girlfriend, and we're together about 7, nearly 8 months, and she's been crazy good, and she understands my psychosis and she understands my health problems. So when things happen, when shit hits the fan, like she knows it's not me, or that it's just something that'll phase out. So she's a beautiful specimen, very rare, and yeah, so I came out to her. I was to the point after years and years, since the age of like fucking 8, I was going through this. I came out to people. During that time, a lot of people were supporting me, some weren't, so I just deleted them, like no point having them around. And they're really supportive, and you know, I had chances to make friends there, like proper, you know, close friends, and not like a bunch of acquaintances or like people that I've talked to before in the past. Like, so I should have, but you know, the old like 15-year-old, like no one showed up for me sort of thing kicked in again. After coming out, I have a few friends that I could consider people I'd go to if I am feeling like bad, but I always seem to end up not talking that much. Like I never really start conversations, and I'm really slow at talking because League of Legends, so people generally just give up with me, which is okay. I understand. I'd probably give up with me too. I'm not that cool. But I've changed a lot since last year. Mentally, I've been better in some aspects, worse in others, but I'm able to hold my own, and way more happy, in a sense. Like I'm not happy like normal like people happy, but there are good days, and I believe I can get better, which is crazy because before coming out I believed I was doomed, like I was gonna die.